Paul Mooney is now saying that the information that the bodyguard gave is not true. He never slept with Richard Pryor Jr. Okay? Number one, Leo men are liars. Number two, they will do cruddy shit without hesitation. Lovers, while I am waiting for this rain to die down, yes, it's raining in Atlanta. It's always raining in Atlanta. I wanted to do a video right quick because I'm interested about how you guys feel about this situation.
So Richard passed away in 2005. Where was his and Paul's relationship at that time? Well, from JoJo Dancer on, the relationship became fragile. Okay. Because Paul Mooney had Richard's son by that time. Okay. And he violated. And that's any man, if you violate their children like that. So Paul took advantage of the situation. And so from there on, whatever Paul Mooney was to Richard, and there was a time that Paul Mooney was Richard's friend. You know, I acknowledge that, which is why the gay community really couldn't say anything they attempted to about Richard, because Paul Mooney was his friend. And they laughed. So when Paul did what he did, it was a violation of friendship first, and then my son, you know, right? And in some circles, that's supposed to be dealt with. So. Was there ever a conversation to retaliate against that? Yes, of course. To what extent? To the extent of Richard didn't want him on the planet no more. Richard, that wasn't his conversation, so I just attribute that he must be high right now. And it's Friday. This is a high day, so it's Friday, Saturday. Sundays, by Wednesday he'll be straight. Because I knew the pattern. And I asked him again because Richard never spoke like that. And I just said, do you remember what you said to me last week? And he was on it so clear. It was like, okay, it's serious. And so then I asked him, what is it about? He said $1 million. And the biggest problem with those people would have been you saying $1 million to them, because they would have did it for like 10 grand. Right. And so I asked him, what was it about? And this is your first time hearing about this? This was the first, when he told me the first time, I thought he was high. I just made that high conversation. But because he was so adamant about it, I asked him again that Wednesday. And then he went into detail. And that's when he told me what went on. And he told me who did it. Mm-hmm. And he was hurt by it. Yeah. He was hurt because it happened to his son, and he was really hurt, which I don't think Paul Mooney understood, because someone that I took as a friend did that to me. For $1 million, it didn't, and years later, it did not happen. Was there a reason why? It didn't happen because Richard caught on fire. Richard burned. And that's what saved Paul Mooney's life today, present day, is because Richard caught on fire. And then that became the primary. Before that, it was Paul Mooney.
Now, if you have not already done so, please like and share this video, because it is so important to my success here on the YouTube. We have Richard Pryor. He's at the peak of his fame right now. He has a good friend by the name of Paul Mooney. We all know who Paul Mooney is. He is one of the most underrated comedians of all time. He's even better as a comedic writer, right? Because if you didn't know, Paul Mooney used to write for Richard Pryor on his show. And if y'all don't know anything about the Richard Pryor show, girl, oh my God, it was so good. It only lasted for like a season, child. I don't know why. Don't ask me. I wasn't there. I only know a little bit about the show. But at any rate, Richard Pryor and Paul Mooney were very, very good friends, right? And what happened was, around the time of JoJo Dancer, which was in 1984. I remember seeing that movie because it was on Super TV, child. If any of you guys know what the hell Super TV is, child, raise your hand. But it was on Super TV, and I was over my cousin's house, and we was watching it over there, over her house, right? And I seen the show. It was a good movie. If you guys have not ever seen JoJo Dancer, please check it out, because it's basically telling his story from his perspective, because he's alive telling the story. And I think it goes all the way up into the part where he burnt himself up. So anyway, about this time in 1984, Paul Mooney had already had sex with Richard Pryor's son. But the way that Richard Pryor's bodyguard put it, the way he phrased it, it makes it sound like the child, like Richard Pryor's son, Richard Pryor Jr. was like, let's say, like 17, 18 years old, really young, because he referenced Richard Pryor Jr. as the boy. And you know, when I did the numbers on it, Richard Pryor Jr. was actually like 25 years old, and Paul Mooney was 45, because Richard Pryor Jr. was born in 61 and Paul Mooney was born in 41. But thinking about that situation, I'm asking you now, okay? This is my question to you. How would you feel if you found out that your best friend slept with your child? Now, your child was over age. Let's put it at the same age, 25 years old. And your Judy slept with your daughter or your son, okay? Because I'm not just going to limit it to heterosexuality. Right now, thinking about your best Judy or your best dog or your best whoever the hell it may be, okay? Whoever, okay? How would you feel knowing that your child's experience was that? All my mother's best friends were my aunties. You know what I'm saying? So to think of one of my aunties making an advancement towards me is disgusting. And if my mother, you know, found out, I'm sure their relationship would have ended. I'm sure it would have. You know, and I could dig some of y'all say, well, he grown, he can sleep with who he want to. But how do you feel as a parent knowing that it's 1,000 mother hunchies out here in the world? Why you had to sleep with my child? You know I got to add in the zodiac on this, right? Paul Mooney is a Leo. Paul Mooney is now saying that the information that the bodyguard gave is not true. He never slept with Richard Pryor Jr. Okay? Number one, Leo men are liars. Number two, they will do cruddy shit without hesitation. TMZ reported Richard Jr. didn't want to touch the alleged hit, but he quickly pivoted to the topic of sex, saying that whatever happened to me took place long ago when he was young, suggesting that he was touched as a teenager, well before the 80s. He does not name Paul Mooney. Richard Jr. never gave us a specific age, but afterward his rep told us it was definitely under the age of consent. When we asked about Kahn's allegation pertaining to Mooney, it should be noted though, Richard Jr. didn't name any names on camera, so it's unclear who he's talking about. On the claim that someone has touched him as a teen, our photog asked if it was consensual. Richard Jr. let us know in no uncertain terms it could not have been. As we reported, Mooney flat out denied the bodyguard's allegations, saying there's no truth to anything Kahn said. We've reached out to them regarding this new Richard Jr. claim, but so far, no word back. Pryor's widow, Jennifer Lee, has said Richard Jr. has previously accused Mooney of this bad behavior during a family event, and she claims to have a tape. So let me do a quick, it's so many things that are unfolding about this story. You know, I listen to Lovely T. Listen, if they can't give you the entire, Lovely T will give you the entire. You know, now I see why it takes Lovely T 100 years to release a story on something. It's because she always waits for the full entire story to unwind and unfold, or otherwise she'll do it a Dragon Ball T type thing, right? Where she's doing, you know, updates, right? But what she did in her video recently, she said, what did she say? That the guy, Rashawn, or the ex-bodyguard, he is writing a book. So it kind of makes me feel like he's the opportunity, okay? Especially when you're trying to make some money off some bullshit you about to do. But I don't know if you should make the Richard Pryor Jr. situation the sacrificial lamb. So I digged him speaking about the situation before I found out that he was releasing a book. So that kind of turned me off about it. So, you know, and another thing that Lovely T said was that It's not your story to really tell. Hope that that situation isn't in the book, because it's not your story to tell. It's Richard Pryor Jr.'s story to tell. It makes me look at you sideways if you're going to capitalize off of a situation or a painful situation. So I don't know, now I feel another way. So shout out to Lovely T for always being an old feral bitch. No, tell me how you feel, because I'm not rocking with it. That shit ain't right to me, okay? Now, if you have not already done so, please like and share this video, because it is so important to my success and here on YouTube. And remember this, the same people you meet on the way up will always be the same people you meet on the way down. Naysayers, my patron loves. Have a good one.